Hello, 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 my friends. Welcome, welcome to Sunday mornings, messages of love from above. And for everyone on the other side of the world, happy Sunday evening to you. Hope everyone is having and had a wonderful weekend. And I'm excited, as always, to see what Spirit brings through today. So let's get my desktop all set up here and we will get into it. All right. So let's try this out. Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I think that's good. Let's shrink this down a little bit. Come on. There it goes. Giving me a little more space there. All right. And YouTube already says we're live. So we are making progress, fast progress. All right. So let's send some love out to the world. I got my singing bowl down here. So whether you're watching live or in replay, we can bring in beautiful love and fill us up, this eternal, unconditional love energy of Creator and Spirit. And we can let it fill us up first, so we're full, and then let it flow out to the world too. So if you'd like to join me in doing that, let's take a big, deep breath and just let that air fill our lungs and let the outside world fall away for a moment. So a big, deep breath in. Hold it for just a moment, and then exhale. Beautiful. And as I hit the singing bowl, I usually will hit it like 3 times. We'll let that love just come into us like a singing bowl, fill us up, and flow, 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 baby, flow. Right, here we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me in doing that. Try not to knock everything over here. We'll put her back up on her perch up here. All right. Hello, hello, everybody. Good to see you. All right. So, before we get into everything, some free things that, of course, are available. We have a new podcast episode that every Sunday they come out. So here is the new one. We're starting a 3-part series talking about 5 superpowers. In this one, we talk about the power of choice. That's really at the core of all of our superpowers. And then we go into the power to laugh. It's one of my favorites. Obviously, I like to laugh. We got a great group of people here that love to laugh as well. Sense of humor is so needed in our lifetime, isn't it? But it's part of our natural being too. So I like that. And there's a playlist if you want to catch up on any of the other as well. It's all about a podcast of from chaos to cozy. We come from cozy down to chaos, right? We make our way back to Cozy, and it's shares a lot of information on my journey from one of the most chaotic times in my life where I almost took my life, and the journey since then. I was 22, and here I am, older than that. I'm not. I don't care about age. I'm 57, so over 35 years ago. Wow. But a lot of journey in between there, and then they're also bringing through new information too, which I always love. Learning from spirit. So if you want to check it out, that's the playlist there. Also, this week we've gone into solstice. Happy solstice, everybody. And there's a special relationship readings for each individual zodiac sign. That's the playlist right there. And it gives us a 3 month what's going on in our relationships over the next 3 months. That gives a big overall reading for everyone in that sign that has that energy. And then it breaks out into three separate readings of single and looking, and then married or in relationships, and then the happy hermits who aren't looking for a relationship. And spirit also brings through messages for us. Happy hermit. All right. So that's there. Oh, and part of all that too, for about a month from June 20th through July 21st, I do have half off my relationship reading. So if you want to check that out, there's a link to my main website, and then also the booking if you're interested in any of that. And the June solstice brings in and rings in the zodiac Cancer season. And so happy birthday, all you Cancer sun babies. There is a 3 month bonus reading in this one that gives you the forecast for 3 months ahead from your birth date. And then for the rest of us, we get to pick a card. What do you need to know about your family tree? How many squirrels are in there and how many monkeys? I'm just kidding. That's a joke, but a bunch. All right. And then also we had a wonderful Capricorn full moon with all of this energy coming in on the 21st in the evening. And we can still make the use of this full moon release energy. It does impact us. Well, you guys, it probably impacts like a week before and a week after. The average human, 2 or 3 days before and after, but you guys are so in tune with the moon that you probably feel it a week before and after. So you could still use these release ceremonies and the energy. And then there's a pick a card in there too. So I like that. Hey, Sean G, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. And then we got just another a week, about little over a week left in June. So if you haven't checked out your June monthlies, here are that for each individual zodiac sign. And July is already out there too. So if you want to get a head start and kind of look at that, both of those do include astrological zenergy, is what I call it, which being aware of the energies that are coming in is important. And because you can prepare for it. It's like if you're gonna go camping, for a week out somewhere, there's this if you know the forecast or the weather, you can prepare, and that's kind of what we do. We prepare for the astrological energy, and then it's not a surprise. And we're like, yeah, I knew it was coming. No big deal. I know how to maneuver this because it's not a surprise, right? So I like all that. I think that's enough of those free things. And there's even more on my main page, but definitely check those out if you would like. And shout out to my YouTube channel members. You'll see their names in green with a little badge there. We got a couple of winners of the Zen Cricket here, Kritika and Happy Pill. Hello, hello. And I got a couple of my YouTube channel members here too, HTTPS and Patty. Thank you guys so much because of your monthly contribution for the YouTube channel, and everyone that donates during these sessions and then purchases any of my other services, as well as my wonderful host. I always like to shout out to her. She lets me live in her basement for free. It's her way of giving back to the world. So we send her blessings and blessings to all of you because it allows me to do all that free stuff because this is what I do, nothing else. And all of you that give a thumbs up to The free things that you can do: subscribing to my channel, sharing the videos with other people, letting other people knowing about these live sessions. Like I said, the thumbs up really help spread the Zen love, because YouTube algorithm loves it and it wants to share my videos with others. So there's so many things that you guys can do to support, and I appreciate every single one of you, because I couldn't do this without you. I mean, I'd be working a full-time job and just going on occasionally doing readings, even if it was just by myself. I would still do it because it's my passion and my joy. So I love it. All right. I think that's everything here. Well, if you're interested in YouTube channel memberships, just real quick, um, it's not next weekend. It'll be the weekend after that. On the first of the month, YouTube does give me 10 Zen Cricket memberships to give away. You just have to have your little gifting acceptance button turned on to be eligible to be included in the raffle. Spirit and Creator and YouTube decide who wins. I just push a button and then YouTube chooses the winners. But on the first Saturday after the first of the month is when I do that. Since next week is the 29th and 30th, it'll be the following Saturday I give away 5 in the morning and 5 in the evening. So be sure to do that. I'll put out some videos before that with a little instructions on where you can find the little switch there. But my Zen Cricket is $2.99 a month. If you're interested in that, you get advanced access to my picket cards when I do monthlies, when I do solstice and equinox, my podcast, any videos. I even have some astrological Zenergy I put out. So a variety of videos, you get advanced access to all of those. And then on Wednesday nights, I have a cozy chat for an hour where you can come in and we can talk about the podcast From Chaos to Cozy, but also what chaotic thing in your life would you like some guidance around from Spirit, and we'll see what advice they give on how you can transform it into something more cozy. My Praying Mantis members is $7.99 a month. You get all of that, plus Thursday you get a 2-hour Q&A. And after each one of these, I go out live 5 times over the weekend, twice on Friday, twice on Saturday, and once on Sunday. And I'm on for about 2 hours for the free readings and donations. And then I zip off and spend an hour or so with my Praying Mantis members. We do other readings. We do past life readings, talk about astrology. We read some books. It's a wonderful group. And we just dive deeper into things. So if you want to be even more deeper into, finding Spirit and stuff, it's a great thing. And so all of that is included in that. So I think that's it. Boom, boom. All the information in the description box of the video, of course. All right. So if you're new to my channel or new to these readings, welcome everybody. How the free readings work: I go down in order, first come, first serve down the chat. The chat is the list. There's no special list. And if you don't want to put your business out there, you can just ask for a general reading. Spirit knows all. I'll pull cards and they'll bring through a message for you. And if anyone makes a donation, I do honor that energy exchange. And so I'll prioritize those, step out of the free readings, dive deeper, meaning I pull more cards for that too. And then I return back and make my way down the list. If I don't get through, sometimes I have a lot of donations and I don't get through a ton of free readings in that 2 hours. Once I finish with my Praying Mantis members and eat and rest for a moment, then I come back on and finish out all the free readings, especially today, since I won't be back on for free readings until Friday morning. I know. All right. So that's the skinny, everybody. Oh, to make a donation, I know. Whoops, one more thing. You can use the super chat down below or in the description box of the video. I have my Venmo, CashApp, PayPal, and Square. And I don't have any particular dollar amounts. I know everyone's finances vary across the world, day to day, right? So I just know you give from your heart, and so I honor that. And I know not everyone is able to give. That's why I do love serving my friends here and coming back on and completing those free readings too. So now that's the blah, blah, blah. Excuse me. You know, my voice is a little lower today. The pollen is, I can see the little cotton floating around past my window. So they're all pollinating and growing out there. So I like it. So we can live, right? My mom has a lot of extreme allergies. I think I inherited it from her, which is all right. Um, but we'll talk about it, and I'm like, well, it's a good payoff because if they don't pollinate and grow, then there's no more trees or plants, then we have no oxygen, and then we die. So I guess it's a good trade-off. Gotta look at the positive, right? All right. So for today, for the donation readings, I'm going to be using this deck, the Wandering Star. So if you see them and you're like, oh, these are cool, you can see who they are. Let me see. It's Kat Pierce is the name of the creator. She's actually also a musical artist if you check her out. um, and then once we get to the free readings, I have a little bit of a twist with those. So we will deal with those when we get to those. All right. So let us jump in. Supernova. So we've got a little plethora of donations from Nova. Thank you so much. And in between there, in between the Nova sandwich there, we've got some Nelia also there. So thank you, Nelia. We'll get to those. And HTTPS. And Brenda Tejada. All right. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much. So we'll jump in here. So Supernova, we've got here your first unicorn with the rainbow this in there. So thank you for that donation and for that sticker. And you want to know, how will you continue to grow and change into a cool independent adult? I love it. All right, let's take a look here. What does Spirit want you to know here? All right. I love it. You got on the bottom of the deck, you got the Magician card coming in, which is a great card. Magically is how you will continue to grow and change. But it is about your power of choice and where you're focusing your energy. It's all going to be that journey. And of course, you have the Strength card underneath there too, which is your Leo energy, but also this it's your human and your higher self and this joining together. And it's an important thing to realize, that we're all on this journey, on purpose, right? It's not by accident that we're here. We've got it's like the master number 11 as we come down to have the lion is the human experience, and we come down to experience the fear so we understand what courage is, and we have sadness so we understand joy, and we have chaos to understand cozy, and peace and conditional love to understand unconditional love. So we come down here, and that's our experience as the lion. We're kind of unaware of our spiritual side and who we really are until later in our lives, and then boom, master number 22 kicks in, which is, wait, there's two of me living this human experience. My character and my actor behind the character, powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being who's made of unconditional love. And, our lion gets kind of hungry, angry, because it's searching so much to fill its heart in the outside world. And doesn't fill us up, because what we're hungry for is the unconditional love of back home, and our higher self happens to be made of that. So it comes down and it joins with our human side. Sometimes we're taught, oh, you must destroy your ego. It's like, we really don't destroy it. We actually fulfill it with our higher self. It's like you don't kill a lion because it's hungry, you feed it, right? And it's like, all right, there we go. There's that bond. And then we walk hand in paw through life in this. And this is the journey that you're on. And it will grow and it will progress and it will be perfect each step of the way. There's no right or wrong. And like you're a cool, independent adult right now, because your higher self is, been around for forever and ever and ever. But it's remembering who we are, the growth and the awakening that happens. And that's cool. That's what happens. The magician card too is about wherever you focus your energy is what grows and expands. And this is what you learn when you are attracting uncool things and enslaving instead of independent, enslaving energy. You're like, "Bleh, I don't like this feeling." And then you're like, okay, well, I'll choose differently. And it's like, all right, I experienced it for as long as I wanted to, and now I'm ready, to have this, move on and move forward. So I like that. Those are the bottom of the deck. Let's see what else they have here. You got the Six of Swords. Yeah. Six of Swords is about movement from old ways of thinking to new ways of thinking. And as we let old conditioning go, all the stuff we're taught growing up, the small T truths that rooted in fear of, well, this is what it's supposed to be, should be, need to be, have to be. It's the smooth movement, and it's part of the journey. It's part of the sea voyage that we're on. And it's not like all of a sudden one day it's this and the next day it's that. Normally it doesn't work that way. It's a slow movement. And we normally don't recognize it because we're with ourselves every day. And we generally go, oh, wow, I have changed when people that haven't seen us for a while will see us and they're like, wow, you're so different. And you're like, what? Because again, we're always with ourselves. So, we don't see all that. So I like that. The Queen of Cups. Yeah. And the more that you get in tune with your spiritual gifts here, too. Sorry, I don't know why they're maybe it'll focus in. Maybe if I do this. But we've got this is you're getting in tune with your emotions and your connection with spirit. That just, especially with the strength card being that connection to your higher self, that's what frees us more and more and brings us that freedom, brings us that feeling of independence. And because that's the love we're looking for. And the stability that we are looking for in our lives because outside world unstable, unconditional eternal love stable, right? And so the more we connect with our higher selves, that's where all that comes in there. I like it. Hello, hello. Yeah, exactly. One day it'll we get ahas throughout our lives. And I like the you know patience of enjoying the journey and not trying to rush to get to the end. It's like enjoy, where you're at. Enjoy each moment as much as we can, and get sucked into the past and really, and get sucked into the anxiety of the future. Feel that, but always know you have the power to come back to now. And that it's like, okay, when I realize that I'm not forced onto all these fear rides in this giant amusement park of fear that we've come here for, then you know it's like, oh, it's my choice. And then we step into our power. That's the magician. I choose my energy, and that comes in there. So I like that. You also have the Ace of Swords. Yeah, so this is the knowledge, seeing things from a higher perspective. And as you connect in with your higher self and the more you learn in the wisdom, it's like it's not so much that it's more like we're remembering. I love Rumi, who says it's like I don't have to find love. I just discover the obstacles that through my human experience I've put in between me and it. So it's not like I have to become someone else. I'm just remembering who I am. I'm waking up from this, you know, drug that I took before I came down here to temporarily give me amnesia of how powerful and who I am. And we start to slowly wake up in the perfect timing. We're not here by accident. We wanted to come down and experience it here. There's this one of my books I talk about the prince who, was in the kingdom, in the castle, and he was like, I want to experience the outside world and understand what my, you know, who I am by going into the kingdom and finding the, the people of the kingdom and find out their perspectives and how they see things. And so they dressed up, and him and some of his guards and advisors and friends, you know, dressed less royal and went out into a town. And they were like, okay, well, I kind of get it, but he knew he was going back to the castle and have the comfy bed and all the food and all the friends, all the protection, all that. So he didn't really have the full experience. And they were like, "Well, how'd you like it?" And he was like, "Well, it was different, but it wasn't like what I thought it would be. I just wanted to experience it more." And then one of his friends, one of his advisors, who was a magician, he had said, "Well, there's this cool little liquid. If you take this, you'll temporarily forget who you are for like 12 hours, and that'll give you a more deeper experience if you want to try that." And they're like, "Yes, let's do that." So they planned for the next day, and they all changed their clothes again, and the prince took that and he passed out. And they took him to another town that was further away where no one would recognize him, and they put him like in a haystack in a barn, and he woke up and he didn't know who he was, where he was. He felt lost, he felt scared, he didn't know when he was going to eat next. He didn't know anyone, and he felt very, and he felt these things to the fullest. But then he starts to wake up, and then he was able to feel all of that stuff next to feeling royal. And that's the kind of our journey. And that's that journey, that we're all going through. We are royal in a way, and we have like this awareness that comes in, and you're just like, wow, you know I'm waking up, and now I'm realizing I am who I am, and I start to understand people differently because of that higher viewpoint. And that's what that Ace of Swords does, is it allows you to wake up more to who you are. It allows you to remove these obstacles. So it's the journey, and when we realize that, it's like I can sit in it and experience it and not feel like I got to change it. And but wanting to change it is part of our experience too, trying to control things that are outside of our control, right? So we have that. Yeah. And then you have the Six of Wands is the victory and the support from the other side, and the Knight of Cups. What a great quest. Here's that quest that we're all on for higher love, and that's what that is. It's the quest, um, that we are taught to look out into the world for this chalice, the Holy Grail, right? And then we come back to, eventually, inward and upward, and we're like, there it is. That's where it's been all along. So we will look for that love in the outside world and not find what we're looking for. We'll find imitations, and we're like, wait, this isn't a gold chalice. This is a pink plastic. And then we're like, oh, all right. We continue to look, right? But it's the journey that we come here for. And then when we start to wake up, we remember, wait a minute, it's not out here, it's in here. And so it's all about the journey. So hopefully that helps. I like that. Oh, you perform in 2 days. Yay. I'm excited. They're talking about your adventure and your journey. So I can't wait to hear about it. Post haste afterwards. Yeah, absolutely. And then that's the search. I like that you've asked your spirit guides for that, because, they will show us, but we're also not rushing, right? What are you rushing for? Enjoy the process, enjoy the journey. That's why we come down here. It's like you know, um, want to spend a day at an amusement park, and you just rush to get through it to get to leave. And it's like, well, let's enjoy the process, enjoy the day. And that's our entire life, is like a day. Enjoy the day that we're here, because before we know it, we're headed back onto a new adventure. So it's like, yeah, let's enjoy this, right? All right. So many blessings. So thank you for that one. We'll do that here. Hey, Latoya. Yeah, absolutely. Melissa. Hey, Magana. Mika. Everybody. Livier. Hello, hello. Shout out to another one of my Zen Cricket winners, Livier. All right. So, so sorry. I am clearing my throat today. So sorry. All right. So, Nova, we're on to your second donation, which is for the rainbow number two. Let's do this shuffle. I'll clear my throat over here. Not into the microphone. That would be nice. All right. So, what do you need to know about yourself? All right. I like that. Let's take a look here. See what do they want you to know about yourself? All right. I feel like it's this one. And you do have those two and those two. Okay. Evidently that one too. All right. All right, move these over here. There we go. So the bottom of the deck, you have the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles is all about transformation and progression, putting in the work. It's like all the little bees with the beehive. It's little worker bee. We put in all that, the steps. We take each step along the way, and we just realize, it's like a blacksmith who takes on an apprentice, and the apprentice is the daily work, the learning, the growing, they try something and they're like, almost, you just need to adjust this. All right. And then they do it. And eventually, with practice and persistence, things start to fold, things start to unfold in the outside world. It's like the Eight of Pentacles is like all these gears that start to move. And then they're ta-da, one day they're like, you have graduated, you have become a master blacksmith. Now you get to go to another town and become the master blacksmith and take on an apprentice yourself, right? And so there is this progression. It is like a caterpillar to a butterfly kind of scenario that comes in there. And so, I feel like that's the what you need to know about yourself is your human character is a work in progress, and it's always evolving, always changing, always moving forward. Even when you feel like you're not moving forward, we're always moving forward and experiencing and learning, and that's a big part of um, that process there. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Nelia, for on behalf of Nova. There, she's congratulating you. Definitely. I'm excited for her adventure. So let's see what else they want you to know here. Yeah. You have to have your calling. The judgment, here's the playing the instrument, right in line with Nelia here, peace of mind. Enjoy your calling. Enjoy this journey that you're on here with the movement into that, that you're I like that when we realize we can't fail at our dream, when we're living our dream, it's so huge. It does bring peace of mind to us because it's like I'm always going to do it. They're reminding me of it's one of the Sister Act. I think it was Sister Act 2, and Whoopi Goldberg or one of the nuns gave a book to one of the teenagers that they were like, a writer writes, a dancer dances, whether they get published or are seen or whatever, you are you, and that's what you will always will be. So when you let go of the attachment to the outcome that we feel defines whether we are what we are, then it becomes calm and peaceful and enjoyable. When we're stressed, like I have to have 100,000 followers on YouTube or I'm not a successful, spiritual tarot reader and guide. If I'm freaking out about that all the time, then I'm not gonna be enjoying it. I'm just gonna be stressing out. But when you're like, I'm going to do what I love, and whoever I come across is who is meant to come across. Whoever's meant to hear your music is gonna hear your music. Whoever's gonna see your art is gonna see your art. And when you're being who you are, then you're not a human doing, you're a human being, and I like that. So I like that. So peace of mind about um, your your journey and your calling. And the King of Pentacles is all about abundance and fulfillment and just knowing that you're always going to have everything you need in each moment. is what's great, and not that you have to have all this stuff to feel safe. You're always going to have what you need in each moment, and then that also helps bring peace, knowing that we're cared for, and I like that. Yeah, and you have the Emperor and the Six of Cups. Yeah. So they got to bring in the past life, adventures that you've had with the Six of Cups. Having that music and artistry has been part of your lives forever. And the Emperor is that you get to choose, right? You're the one that gets to choose where you go and what you do. I feel like it's such an important thing just to know that there's no way to let down creator and spirit and all that. They're like, it's an adventure. You're on a playground. You went to, you know, go to this playground to play and express yourself, and they love everything you do. And they're along for the experience, and there's no wrong, there's no bad, there's no low grade. We're taught that as humans. And that's one of the things we come here to experience. What does it feel like to fail, to get a big fat F on something in our lives? And realize that, when we reflect back on things, no, that was just information. It wasn't, you know, a judgment. It didn't define me, even though other people were telling me it defined me. That it didn't. No, and it's like, all right, you know, we just realize it's information and move on and use it to determine what we're going to do in the future. So I like that freedom that comes with that. Yeah. Yeah, because it is the three of swords. This is our, the fear. This is the heartache, the heartbreak, the fear of being a disappointment, the fear of failing, that prick in our heart of, that when we are in physical danger, it goes off to protect us. When we're in emotional, when our body and mind and everything feel like, oh, I'm in emotional danger. Look at that emotional dinosaur. We're like, it's not real. It can't hurt me. My emotions are my choice and a belief, but I can change that. When I realize, when someone says that or does that, it's not about me. We can dismantle these emotional triggers that activate and make us feel like we're scared and in danger, when I'm like, no, that's not true. There's this big transformation that happens. And this is all what it's all about. Here's that Ace of Cups. You had the Knight of Cups that was in search of the Holy Grail. Well, there it is. You got the Ace of Cups here, which is the Holy Grail. And the Nine of Cups is dreams come true. So, I feel like their overall message here with what you need to know about yourself is that your true dream, you are, the true journey that everyone is on, is that everyone wants to find love. Every journey here, like the plot of every journey, is the journey of love and self-worth. Self-love and self-worth that we find inward and upward. But we're told, look for your self-love out there. And they're like, what? And so we go out there, and that's when we realize later, when they go, it's out there. Oh, the key was to look at their hand. The three fingers were pointing back in here. It's like it's out there here, But that's the whole journey. That's the whole, you know, the whole piece of it, is that this is our journey. This is our adventure. And once we find the love within us, then we fill up and overflow. And that's when we live our dream, because our dream is to express the unconditional love in our heart in our own special, unique way to the world. And we're breaking through all of the everyone telling us, no, this is how you're supposed to do it. No, this is how you should, need to, have to, must. It's all those three of swords, all these expectations, and we fear I'm going to disappoint people. But how can we fail at be expressing ourselves? Because we always are. And we're like, oh, okay. We come down here to experience, and we're always experiencing. So we're always succeeding, no matter what the experience is. So hopefully that helps a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, right. School, but we're taught that, right? from very young. I love that for you, Nova. Absolutely. Beautiful. So thank you for that donation. And then your third donation here with the banana peel. Whoops. Thank you for your additional donation. Anyone know what do you need to know right now? All right, I'm just going to take a sip of coffee here. All right. So, what do you need to know right now? All right. What else? All right. So, bottom of the deck, you have the Hanged Man, which is about, transformation and seeing things from a different perspective, a higher perspective. And so I feel like you need to know that you are seeing things differently, you are transforming. And, this is that whole butterfly to a caterpillar. And sometimes, and I think we've kind of mentioned it before where life is like you know, a spiral staircase upward. And because we're always with ourselves, we don't realize how far that we've come until we look over the edge and go, "Whoa, look how far." And then, or if we were like blindfolded for like 6 months and then we open our eyes, we'd be like, "Wow, look how far I've gone." It was like, but because we're always with ourselves, any progress we make uh, isn't doesn't stand out a whole lot because we're always with us. It's like what they're saying, like letting your hair grow out because you're always with yourself. You're like, you know, you don't realize it's getting longer until because I used to like keep my hair like short, 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 and people who hadn't seen me in a while, like, "Oh my gosh, you grew out your hair." I'm like, "What? Oh yeah, I guess I did." And it's like because you're with you and you don't see the, "Oh look, my hair grew a fraction." I see it, we don't. And so I feel like it's important for you to know that there is progress and you're always moving forward, even though it may not seem like it. Yeah, and here's the Page of Swords and the King of Pentacles. So the Page of Swords, you are getting this higher awareness. The Hanged Man is about seeing things from a higher perspective. The all of the royalty of the sword suit, they have the Ace of Swords, which is about the ability to see things from a place of unconditional love from the higher realm, and it helps you transform it. Has has a lot to do here with this the King of Pentacles is about worth, and I do feel like this has been a big thing of that you've been evolving through and learning a lot about how you define your worth. And that, one of the big things the King of Pentacles learns is the Four Pentacles, which is when we define ourselves by the outside world, three buckets: relationships, situations, and things. When we define ourselves by those, we feel unstable because all of those things are unstable. People change, people pass away, people walk away, whether it's romantic, family, friends, best friends, whatever, it's unstable. Our relationships with humans is unstable because it's temporary and people are constantly changing and evolving like we are. Uh, Situations like jobs, education, whatever, music, whatever, all of that we get into constantly changing. Nothing stays the same, so it's unstable. And things, our bodies, our bank accounts, our possessions, all those things don't last forever. They deteriorate, they blow up or burn down, they are stolen, So we realize through all this that the outside world is unstable. When I feel unstable, it's because I'm defining myself by unstable things. And eventually, that is that turning inward and upward where we find the only stable thing in this entire existence, which is the eternal, unconditional love of the higher realms. Eternal, meaning it never ends. Unconditional, nothing we can do to lose it, right? So there's a lot of stability in that. And then that changes once we become stable from the inside, then the outside world, we see it differently, because if we're unstable, we see the world unstable. And when I'm stable, I see the world as stable, right? So I like that. Yeah. Then you had these three cards come out together. You got the King of Cups, balancing of your heart and mind. You've got the Nine of Pentacles, which is about independence, but also being with spirit alone. And so that's, important is to maintain your solitude with spirit, not solitude without spirit, because that just ends up being a downward spiral, right? Because you got the Three of Cups, which represents your spiritual posse and joy and celebration, and the tribe that's waiting in the outside world too. So I like this balancing of alone time with spirit, and then sharing your love and who you are with the outside world, and turning inward and sharing and communing with spirit and your spiritual posse, and then sharing yourself with the outside world, and having that experience that comes in here is very important for you, because I feel like you need to realize you're not alone ever, 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 ever. Spirit's always with you. But there's a group of individuals that, souls that you before you came down here, you're like, at this point in my life, I'm going to meet these people. I'm going to impact their life, and they're going to impact my life. And it's like friendships that will last forever, and friendships that you've had in past lives. So you're going to recognize who these people are. You're going to have this clicking with them. It's not going to feel like work, where you're like, "Ugh, I guess I'll go spend time with them." You're going to feel like, oh, this is like a best friend from a past life. And you just love hanging out with them when you do. Um, and I like that energy that's coming in there. And then you have the Ace of Wands. Yeah, so career, beginnings, travel. Yeah, here's that Magician, Ace of Wands, passion. What you need to know right now is just in each moment, if we make life simple and just go, in this moment, what am I focusing on? And I'm growing it, then that's all we need to worry about. Life is very, very simple. Every moment is a choice between higher vibration or lower vibration. And like attracts like, whatever I focus on grows. And so in each moment, if I don't like what I'm feeling or experiencing or whatever, then I'm like, oh, that's a reminder. Emotions are flags that something can be looked at, both the happy feelings and lower vibrational feelings. If I'm feeling like, wow, why do I feel so, full and excited, it's like I'm going to focus on gratitude for those things, and they grow. And if I'm like, "Ugh, I feel like, ugh," I'm like, why do I feel that way? Do I want to continue to feel that way? Sure. There's nothing wrong with it, but we grow it when we focus on it. And then when we're like, I've had enough of this, I'm going to focus on the opposite. That'll take me up in that direction instead. So I like that for you. And thank you for all these questions. I feel tired. I feel tired too. This solstice, Capricorn full moon, and Cancer season, which is Mother Luna. Oh, and it is 3:43 a.m. there. Yeah. So yeah, I understand why you're tired. But there's a lot of energy going on too. So rest up, rest up. And of course, you can always come back for your other readings. Make sure you rest. Of course, I feel like you're on a night owl schedule, because as a musician, I feel like you're going to do a lot of your stuff at night, and so you're getting used to living that life. It's like it's in your blood. All right. So that's for number 3 there. So thank you again so much for those donations. So we're going to head off here and have a couple from Nelia, and then we'll bounce back and do one for you, and then bounce back to Nelia, and then bounce back to you. So it's like a dance party that we're having here between the two of you guys. And then we'll get down to the other ones here too. You are a night owl. Who? You. All right. So thank you again, Nova. And then Nelia, thank you for your sticker and your donation. And let's see, so that's your free reading there. So this is your question here. All right. Right. Yeah. So your first one is Megan and you had an altercation. How will this affect our relationship? Will things get better between us? All right. Let's take a look here and just see what does Spirit want you to know. I'm just going to take another sip here. All right. What? How will this affect your relationship? Okay. And based on current energies, will things get better? So an important thing. Okay, so you got two cards, and two cards. So this is going to be interesting. But at the bottom of the deck, we have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is all about seeing things from a higher perspective, like our higher self calls us to see things from their perspective, from a higher perspective, from a place of unconditional love. And when we step out of the event, we step out of the feelings and all that, and we look at it. Number one, do you want to have a relationship with them? That's what it comes down to. If I want to have a relationship with someone, then I'm going to do what it takes to have that relationship with them. Altercations are normal between humans, right? We've got different belief systems. We've got little inner children when they feel unsafe and out of control. You know, we our fight or flight kicks off. Our intelligent, um, compassionate, loving side is bounced out of the control room. Little 2-year-old and its pet hissing cat are left in charge. And what do? Selfish, stupid, unloving things, because they're just like, you ever see like a 2-year-old when someone's playing with their truck and they don't want them to, and they got all these toys in front of them, but someone's playing with their toy, they go over and hit them over the head with the truck. You're like, no, that it's my toy, protection, me, mine, you bad, you know, that's what kicks in. And when we realize that and we step back after an altercation with anyone, if we want to maintain that relationship and grow it, then we look at what was I fearing? What was my inner child triggering? And once I look at that and go, oh, I see why I was defensive or I shut down or I attacked because something inside of me triggered and I was scared. What fear was coming up, right? When I realize that, then I can have an honest, vulnerable conversation with someone I care about and go, I'm so sorry of what I said and how I acted, and I would like to talk to you about it and share what I was feeling, and I would like to if you feel like you'd like to share, then I would love to find that out too, because I see what was triggering. It wasn't you, it was something from my past. It usually is. It's an echo, and it's like when we were talking about this, not like when you did this is how I felt. What is that going to do? Whoop, another battle. When we make it about when this happened, I felt this way and it's because of this. And I realized, oh my God, that's what it scared me. That's what I was like, and it was unfair for me to, put that on you. So I'm sorry. And I'm working on that. And if they're like, oh, I wonder what I was freaking out about. And you're like, yeah, I'd love to, if you want to talk about it, I'd love to hear about it. And then there's this, I even if it's someone we care about, we can even develop a code between best friends or lovers or whatever that we are to people or parents or siblings. It's like when I start to do this, let's have this be a buzzword that just makes me remember, oh, like, banana. We're entering a slippery slope. Remember what's really below the surface here. It's like, oh, okay, yep. And then we laugh, right? And then we or we're like, oh, okay, give me a moment, let me take a deep breath and come back, right? But this is like, if it's important to us, we'll develop some sort of communication with someone, and we'll look at, why did I freak out? Because in an altercation, it takes two to have an altercation. If one person is, you know, not triggering and the other person is in fear, then we're like, and they're blah, 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 blah. You're like, I love you. Are you okay? And they're like, what? And we help them. But if I'm triggered and they're triggered, it's two-year-olds fighting, right? If someone remains an adult while someone turns into a 2-year-old, the adult can help comfort and make and help the inner child of the other person feel safe and in control again. And so they can return back to their adult and have adult conversations instead of, a 2-year-old having a tantrum or, freaking out, right? So I like that for you there. And I've been blabbing here. Ping pong ball. There you go. Ping pong ball. What? And then it's like, oh yeah. So let's see what else they have here. So we have the Ace of Pentacles, new beginnings. So you can have a restart here. I like this with the Ace of Pentacles, is you guys do have an opportunity, if you want to take it, right, to have that, healed here. Page of Swords, seeing things from a different perspective, gaining clarity in the communication, and it can be new communication. So Ace of Pentacles, Page of Swords, new opportunity for more communication. So there definitely is that there. Um, two cards. So you have two cards, and then two cards, and then two cards. So I feel like these two cards in the middle are the transformation. How does this happen? Yeah. Here's the cat mines. But the Six of Swords is going from choppy waters to calmer waters by leaving behind like thinking fears that no longer serve us, and it allows us to move forward. It allows a movement. And then the Five of Wands is transformation of energy that feels fear-based, lower vibrational, and transforming it into higher vibration. But I love, here's the two cat minds. So the altercation is, we go into our cat minds and the little 2-year-olds, and we had a little battle, and now we're like, all right, now let's, come back together and find out what's going on here. And let's see what these other two are here. Yeah. So we have, again, here's the Judgment card, which is our higher self allowing us to see things from a different perspective. And the Three of Wands is taking a different route than we normally would. And so I like this because, like our little inner child, when it feels unsafe and out of control, it's like, I'm not going to be vulnerable. I'm not going to be the one to apologize. I'm not going to be the one to reach out because I don't get rejected. And it's like, no, it's it's um it's all about communication with people we truly care about. And I learned a lot in working an escalated call line at a company that I worked at and coaching it and managing it eventually. It's like you learn about people and how when customers call in and they're upset and they're not validated, they keep escalating and escalating because no one is listening to them. And then eventually it's like, oh, I see where you're coming from. And wow, I'm sorry that you're experiencing that. And well, let's see what we can do. And when we have walls up, we can't hear each other because all you hear is through the wall, and you're assuming, oh, they said something mean. It's like, no. Once we're able to step back, calm down, and let the walls fall down, then we can have clear communication. But if there's a wall up, and how do we get walls to come down? We listen to people, we share love, that what can we do to allow that inner child? My reps used to say, well, you're manipulating people, when I would say, allow them to feel in control for a little bit. And they're like, but they're not. And I'm like, but you know that, but they don't need to know that. I go, the reason why we get into altercations is I want to be in control, so does the other person. But if I inside know that at any moment, especially with a customer who's upset, if I say something like, you know, "Well, if you pay your bills on time, you wouldn't get those." Knowing that any moment I can push a button, because you know what buttons you can push with people. And if you know inside I could push a button and watch them freak out any moment, it allows your inner child to feel safe, and then allowing the other person to feel in control, which is what they need to feel safe and in control. Creating this, whatever's freaking them out, helping, like I said, that adult to a child, it really helps. Um, and we help each other with all of that. So I feel like there can be, but you have to decide, is this a relationship I care about? Do I want it? And if you do, then yeah, there's definitely the possibilities of reaching out in that manner, not blaming and going, when you said that, you made me mad. What's that going to do? That's not true anyway. No one can make us mad. I'm the only one that can choose to be mad. People just have actions and words or non-actions and silence, but I'm the one that chooses the story, the emotion, my energy. I can't control them, and I can only control me. They can't control me. I choose that. So a lot of it is about us taking responsibility for our part in the altercation because they invited us. It's like if a ninja invites you to a battle, if you accept it, well, we accepted it. So let's take our part that I did accept the battle invitation, but I don't have to in the future. I can, instead of taking it personally when someone's shooting arrows, we realize they're just blindly shooting arrows because they're scared. It's like someone who has a gun in the middle of a forest at night and they hear something in the bushes and they're just shooting at all of the bushes because they're scared. It's like, you know, we can, step back and do that. So hopefully that makes sense. But that's what they have there for you. So hopefully that answers your question because you wanted to know how it will affect your relationship. Oh, and it's going to affect you the way that you want it to. I like that power empowerment. And will things get better between us? If you want to, you know? Um, it's not gonna happen just, "Oh, look, it got all better." It's gonna take, decisions on your part, and you can only handle your decisions on your part. If you reach out your hand and they're like, "No, I don't wanna," and then you're like, "Okay, I've done my part reaching out," and when they're ready, they'll either reach back out or if I bump into them somewhere and they're calmed down and whatever, then it's we can ask them. I would like to talk about what happened. So when you feel that you're able to, let's get together and talk about it. Because I love you. And people are like, whoa, right? Wow, that just hit me emotionally. So it's important, right? Woo! Deep energy there. All right. Yeah. um, I don't feel like they, not yet, I don't feel like they're safe. They feel safe enough to reach out, and I feel like, that's the whole part of don't our little inner child is like, "Well, will they reach out to me?" Because that's the fear of rejection. I want them to reach out to me, then I don't have this fear of what if they slap away my hand. And it's like, it's okay. You get to choose what that means. It's not about you. That's that just means they're in their little inner child too. No, get away, because when we're in our intelligent, emotionally mature, compassionate, loving side of us, we're like, yeah, I would love to talk, you know. But if we're still in the little pouting little child, then they'll slap away your hand, and then you just realize, okay, they haven't calmed down yet. They're still scared, and that's when you can say, all right, um, I am sorry, for what happened, and I would love to talk about it when you're ready, and I love you, and you leave it at that. And then they will, reach out when they're ready, and you can release that and go, I've done what I can, so now I'm just gonna go on and live life, and that you can release yourself from defining yourself by their actions, right? So that's what's coming in. Oh yeah. Emotions, emotions, Nova. You know that. All right. So thank you for that donation and that question. And I know I go deeper into these, and thank you everyone for your patience as I work through the donation readings, because I just feel like these answers, when we go deep, are for everyone. We all can glean from these, and I so appreciate Nova and Elia and Brenda and HTTPS, all these, when we ask these questions, really all of you that ask the questions, we all glean from it. There's no experiences that are unique to us, really. All humans, we experience so much of this, just different characters, different situations, but the messages that come through, I know me having I get to sit back and listen to all the messages that spirit brings through. I learn a crap load of information about. I'm like, "Oh, yeah, wow," you know? After a weekend of doing hundreds of readings, I kinda just sit and let it all just ruminate and learn about my own life through everything. So I appreciate everyone's patience, and thank you for all these the vulnerability of asking questions and talking about personal things, uh, you know, in, publicly like this. So, thank you. I know it's not easy, so thank you. All right. So Nelia, your second donation here with your upside down emoji. You want to know what are Brett's feelings towards Yennefer? Does he think of breaking up sometimes? Who doesn't? It's like, does everyone thinks of suicide in their life too? Like, I'm done. We relationships, life, everything. We all do. But let's see what the spirit wants us to know. And that we're not alone in either. Everyone's like, some days I'm just like, I just don't want to wake up. Can you just like take me, Lord, take me? And then we get up and we're like, all right, I see why you let me stay. Thanks for not taking me. You knew what I really wanted, right? All right, let's take a look here. So we got the strength card on the bottom of the deck, which is Leo energy, and and we have the death card on the bottom, and the two of wands too. So the three combination of these, I do feel like they do on occasion. The death card is the two of wands is going back and forth between the two. So I do feel like they do, have this thinking of like, I would like to just to be able to do whatever I want. Which is the amazing thing is we can. It just these expectations of, oh, I'm supposed to be this, I'm supposed to do this. This is what, someone is supposed to be to someone. But the Leo energy is like they don't like to be caged. It's funny because they're reminding me, like in my life, when like you would get into a relationship, like when you're single, you're like, oh, I want to find love and I want to be in a relationship, and you get in a relationship. Then you hang out with your single friends and you're like, oh, I'd like to be free again. Just I just feel so heavy, right? All these expectations, all this. And it could even be that the other person is not even asking of anything, but it's our upbringing. All this supposed tos and shoulds and need tos and have tos and must is this cage that we've created over time. And the lion, the Leo, especially this, I feel like they've got like this fiery lion energy where they want to be free and they want to be able to roam and be who they are and do whatever. And but we go back and forth. It's like the grass is always greener. Well, I want love, but I want to be single. Oh, but I want to be loved. But under just like and this is what I feel is going back and forth. Yeah, we absolutely. It's us that puts the pressure on ourselves. It's what we've learned, and no one can cage us. And it's like, well, I can be who I want to be in a relationship, and it's just a matter of finding someone that also wants the same thing so that it's kind of mutual. It's like, do you want kids? No. Okay, good. Because I don't want kids either. Do you want to live together or would you rather have separate places? I like my own space. Me too. Okay, good. You know, do you want joint checking accounts and stuff? I'd really just keeping things independent. Yeah, okay, me too. All right, and you find it. But someone that wants the opposite, it's like that's going to be, you know, and we discover how important are things. And it's the working out of stuff, and it's natural, that comes in here too. So, you know, we when we feel um like butting heads, then that's when the fight or flight kicks in and we're like, flee, I don't want to fight, I want to flee. And that's when people feel like, okay, but then we calm down, we work things out, it's all about developing communication. You always hear it's cliche, right? One of the most important things in a relationship is communication. But it is, because if we don't communicate, we're assuming everyone's a mind reader and is knowing what each other are thinking. And they're like, surely they know they're supposed to do this, but they weren't raised that way. And we're just assuming. So it's the fear that keeps us from speaking up because we're afraid that that's going to be something, a deal breaker with the other person. And I'll never find love again. It just comes down to that, right? But let's see what these 4 cards. That was the bottom of the deck. We've got, the devil card. So here's all those thoughts and beliefs and mindsets, and relationships shake and rattle our cage. The fear, the shadow that comes in, it shows us that the cage that we're in. But when we realize we're in a cage, then we can start dismantling the cage. And I think it's the Course in Miracles. It's funny because one of the things that really stood out of everything I read in this huge book is relationships teach us about patience and unconditional love. And it's like, it's true. If we can be patient with and not jump into our fears, or once we've gone through our fears, like altercations, right? Coming back to that, if we can develop a communication and allow us to come together and talk through things, then that's important too. Let's take a look here. You also have the 4 of Wands. Yep. So joy, celebration, balancing energy, marriage even. So I feel like there is this union that's there between them. We got the Sun card. Here's more Leo energy, but also the brightness that shines light on everything. Victorious. I feel like they'll work through things here, and I feel like they do eventually are able to talk through things. Yeah. Even the 2 of Swords, which is closing our eyes, getting out of our head and getting into our hearts, is an important piece of this. And so I do feel like, that's our tendency to either fight or run. That's our fight or flight when we have disagreements. And if we rush into things too, um, I feel like they're like, they've taken their time. They haven't rushing. I feel like they're moderately, going through getting to know one another and moving along towards, where they're wanting to head. Excuse me, because when we're always going to have red flags that come up when someone has a belief that's different than ours around something. Even it's how you bake brownies. Why are you doing the eggs first? No, what? Are you insane? It's like, because you're taught a certain way, they're taught a certain way. And so a red flag comes up. And if we slowly work into a relationship and court and take our time, then we deal with red flags as they come up. But if we rush, then all of these red flags, all 50 of them we went flying by, all hit us at once. And then, it doesn't survive very well. So you're like, I thought that was a carnival. No, it was not. But now we're going to deal with all these things. They all come to a head at once. It's hard. And in our rush kind of society, it's more difficult. Whereas before, people used to court for years, before they'd get married. And so it's interesting. Yeah, the cake. I actually had a friend who, um, she was actually one of my reps at the time, and I knew her husband. It was her boyfriend at the time, and she was like, in our one-on-one, she was like, "Oh my God, he irritates me because he would do it that when we were making brownies, and he just insisted on doing it this way." And I'm like, and I play devil's advocate a lot, where I'm like, that is the right way. And what? And I'm like, well, how do you know it's not the right way? Well, because the box says this, and my mom always taught me that. And I'm like, well, maybe his mom taught him different. And I'm like, what? I go, it could be, right? Everyone does things differently. And maybe instead of, you know, judging what they're doing and defending your way, just ask, try this. I go, next time something like that happens, just go, that's interesting how you're doing it that way. Why do you do it that way? Because they might share something with you, and you're like, oh, wow, that makes more sense. Or they might be like, huh, have you ever thought of trying it this way? Because when I do it this way, it does that. Huh. Instead of why, and putting someone in that position of, I got to defend my way. And she was like, all right, I'll give it a try. And then a couple weeks later, when I followed up with her on something else, she was like, oh my God, I tried that. And I go, how did that go? Well, he was doing this, and he was making something. And I said, that's interesting that you're doing it that way. Why do you do it that way? And she said, he looked at me really weird and goes, have you been talking to bruddaZEN? you because he knew me too. And she was like, yes. And they busted up laughing. And they're still my friends to these days. It's been like, gosh, 20 years or more that I've known him. And she told me, she goes, we still do that to this day, and we crack up. It's like whenever they're doing it, they're just like, that's interesting that you're doing that way. And then they just bust up laughing, and it changes the energy of the interaction. And it's funny. But I like that. I'm glad you guys think it's funny. So fun. So give it a try. All right. So that's what they have for that one, Nelia. So thank you again for your donation there. We'll bounce back to your next one here in a moment. But we're bouncing over to Supernova. Thank you for your rose sticker there and your donation. And this is number 4, right? Yep. So number 4 is, what do your spirit guides want to tell you? All right, let me just take a sip here. Give these a shuffle-uffagus. All right. So what do your spirit guides want you to know right now? All right, that. Oh, all right. 2 by 2. All right. This Hierophant's been making themselves known here. So the Hierophant, this is your higher self. And so your spirit guides want you to know that, your higher self really will draw you in. And that's what I feel like. They just want you to know that you don't have to worry that you're doing the right thing or the wrong thing. One, there's no right or wrong, right? But they're like, your higher self is such an intricate part of you. And they're not like looking off in space and blah, blah. They're so engaged in every second of your life, your emotions, your thoughts, your energy, who you are, that they will not just let you wander off somewhere. And they are such this is your human self, and this is your whole higher self. You're connected. You are each other, that they're not going to let you do anything that you don't want to do. And so I like that. We've got this, energy of flowing through and being and you know, that they're just going to guide you, and they're going to nudge you, and they're going to draw you, but they'll usually draw you. They're never shove you, which is good. You're you have this, your heart pulls you somewhere, and that's your higher self going, oh, let's go over here. And you're like, okay, because your heart pulls. And I like that. That's interesting. I haven't heard that before. I like that. Yeah, and that they're always speaking to you. And here it is. The 8 of that was the bottom of the deck, but here's what basically I was saying. You have the 8 of Wands, which is communication from the spirit world, and the Page of Cups is new emotion, the pulling of new emotion. And so when you feel this pull, um, when we learn to follow our heart, we learn to follow the pull of that, right? And they don't go tug and go, oh, they didn't do it, oh well, they will keep tugging more and stronger until we're like, all right, I'll do that, but it's not out of, they're not trying to irritate us, they're just going, this is what's best for us, and I'm taking us that way. They will pull us in that direction. They'll keep pulling us. And all the spirit guides are, we follow the lead of your higher self, um, and everything that they wanted to have done in your life before you came down here. But I like that you, of your human side, can ask spirit and ask your spirit guides for clarity and for guidance and synchronicities and things. It all goes through your higher self anyway. They're going to go, hey, your little your little self is asking for this, you're going to sign off on that, and they're like, yeah, we can do that. you know and so just know that everything is always unfolding for you, and I like that there, for sure. Let's see what these other two cards are. Yeah, see, so here it is. You got the Judgment card here again, your higher self calling you, and here's the calling card. In the Three of Wands, they'll allow you to change direction and take you off in a direction that's for your highest experience. So don't be afraid to follow your heart and follow those nudges as you're pulled, because it's like we never figure out our entire lives and go, all right, this is what I'm going to do, and we just stick to it. We try to sometimes out of fear. I got to stick to this, instead of taking an off road that our heart wants to draw us to, and where we want to go. And so it's cool. We can do that. And so it's about being, it's more like, I'm going to head off in this direction. And then when I get there, and or I've made like this journey of 100 miles, and then I'm like, all right, you know what? Now I want to go this way. Follow the draw, follow the nudge. Don't feel like the fear of what will people will think, just follow your nudges of your heart. I feel like they want you to know all that. Yeah. You got the Queen of Swords. Balance your head and your heart. And the Full card is, don't be afraid to start a new journey. That's what the Full card does, is it, is the ending of old cycles, beginning of new adventures. Sometimes we'll get to a point where we're like, all right, I've done what I wanted to do with that, and now I want to go in a different direction. I want to start a new adventure. Free of expectations, free of supposed tos and shoulds and need tos and have tos and musts and blah, blah, blah. It's it's being open to being drawn, and not needing to know, not needing to control, but enjoying that adventure, right? So I like that. Right. So that's what they have for that one, Nova. Hey, Ankita, yeah, anyone new coming into, you can ask any questions. You just pop them out in the chat. The chat's the list, and I do honor donations first, which is what I'm working through right now, and then free readings. Once I'm done with all donations, then I jump in to do the free readings. I'm going to be on for about, I don't know, 40, a little less than 40 more minutes. And then I'll go spend about an hour with my Praying Mantis members and eat. So I'd be back about an hour and a half after that. But I will complete all free readings today. It just might take a little while. And I'll come back on and do a separate stream to finish them all out, or sometimes to begin the free readings. So thank you for your patience in getting to those. But if you want it prioritized and go deeper into those, then donation of any kind can help that. You can use the super chat, and then I also have different pay options in my the description box of the video: Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, and Square. All right. So thanks for the question there. All right, and then we're jumping back in here. So we're bouncing back, ping ponging, right? Ping pong ball back to Nelia. So Nelia, thank you for your additional donation there as well, and for the heart eyes sticker. Anyone to know any abundance and blessings coming your way? Money, love, health, etc. All right, let's take a look here. Let's give it one more shuffle here. All right. Abundance, blessings coming your way. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. All right. What do we have here? Okay. So, not yet HTTPS. So just to give every heads up here. So I got Nelia, and then I have Nova, and then HTTPS, and then Brenda, and then Jeep, and then I just got a PayPal that came through too. And then Maria, hey Maria. So that's kind of where we're at. And yeah, so thanks for catching up. I forget to keep you guys in the loop. So thanks for asking that. All right. So Nelia, we got here. The bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Pentacles. And the Six of Pentacles is about giving and receiving and abundance coming in. And it's like abundance wants to come in. And if I feel like I've talked about it before, so my apologies, but I'm going to put it for everyone here. We might feel like sometimes, like consciously, we want to have a bunch of stuff come in to our lives, right? But sometimes it feels like life's not cooperating. And we feel like there's this force field keeping love and abundance and jobs and promotions and things we want to come in. And the culprit, because they don't know any better, is our inner child, our emotional inner child, who was banished or convinced to go into our subconscious by our mind when our mental inner child started to develop between 7 and 14. Our emotional inner child is 7 years old and under. At this time when our brain starts to, it's like, we can't have you have these emotional outbursts or emotional sharings of your feelings. So we need you to go into the basement, and we're all much safer if you do that. And so it convinces them, but then they become the ruler of the underworld in a way, where they develop this out of balance giving and receiving. When they gave a lot, they felt like they gave a lot to like parents or people in authority. Whoever was important in our life, 7 years old and younger, we gave so much to, got so little back. This out of balance giving and receiving kicks in, and it rules our life after that. We feel we have to overgive in our friendships, our relationships, like love and family, work and school and everything. I have to give so much to deserve so little. So I feel like that you have this energy that's drawing abundance and love and things to you, but this force field isn't going to allow them in. And so I like that they're telling you here, with this, that it's time to look at that so that you can bring that subconscious out of balance giving and receiving rate of exchange from the subconscious to the conscious. We bring it up, we think about it, we look at those things. That's what the video talks about, is how to look at that and bring it from 1 to 1,000 down to 1 to 1. These force fields drop. The little inner child who's been madly keeping hatch marks up to 1,000, because we'll have times in our life where abundance comes in because we hit 1,000 and those walls came down. But then we hit 0 and we're like, oh, you just spent all of your 1,000 love coins on that thing. Rip, walls come back up, and these force fields come back up. But that little inner child's very happy to break that chalk and break that board and go, I'm tired of counting to 1,000, and so they're very much on board with adjusting things. And that talks about how to do that. So I feel like that's important here. Yeah, because you do have here the world card, which is the ending of old cycles, beginning of new adventures. So this cycle does end, and it does this, doing this allows that cycle to end, and it does have this, the full card like we talk about is no walls, no expectations, nothing keeping it away. It's a world of possibilities that comes in. Yeah. And again, you have the 3 of Wands with the world card changing direction that you normally would do. So this definitely is going to change things for you. Yeah, and here, I love how the cards just relate because the 8 of Swords is about, becoming aware of our own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that have made us feel blinded and bound and trapped. And again, the forest field, and this is what allows things to come to us because we're letting go of these old thinking, these old cycles that have been there before. So I like all this that's coming in. Yeah. And you got the Magician too, which is about what our energy is and what we focus on grows. Um, so also look at if I haven't shared this, or these are the 2 things that keep things away from us and things that we can allow, things that we can do to bring in things sooner to us. So that 6 of Pentacles and the energy focus, that's what the Magician is about. What we focus our energy on is what grows and expands. And if we can become aware of that, that's our conscious, what I'm consciously focusing my energy on. And then we look at the subconscious that's also influencing us. So the combination of those 2 is what helps draw in more these wonderful things that we're grateful for. And then the changing of that forest field allows the stuff to come into us. So we can drop the walls, but if we're not changing what our energy focus is, we're not drawing things in faster. It's like they'll eventually get to us, but if we drop the walls and then change our focus, we can see a big change in our life around abundance, around love, around money, and the outside world stuff too. So I see it all that they're telling you all this because they're like, you've been focusing on energy, I feel, so things are coming towards you, but you can, there can be adjustments made there and adjustments made on that out of balance, giving and receiving, which all human children, we all go through that. We come out of childhood going with really wonky, worth, our self-worth. What am I worthy of? It's like, what do I have to do to be deserving? We come out with a lot of wonky, off the wall belief systems, right? And so you're definitely not alone. All right. So that's what's coming in for that one there, Nelia. So thank you so much again for your donation. All right. And then Supernova, we got cake. We got cake. So thank you for that additional donation, all your multiple donations. I really appreciate that. And you want to know, how has your empathic psychic abilities grown? Because you feel like it's grown, or maybe I'm just cray-cray. Well, they're not independent. They don't have to be independent of one another. It can be both. But a bunch. Don't mess with Supernova. She's tired. Don't poke the bear, bruddaZEN. Supernova will burn you. All right, let's take a look here. So, just jokes, my friends. All right, let's talk about your psychic abilities here. I get a little giddy on Sundays. I've been in non-stop spirit for like 2.5 days, so I get a little giddy or high in a way. Hey, Lucky, hello. All right. So you have the 9 of Wands on the bottom. So I like that. and the Sun is under there, and the King of Wands. So, this is all this fire energy, all of this spiritual energy that you have. So you have a ton here. The 9 of Wands would represent, a barrier. that can appear, but I like how she has, well, that was loud, sorry. The the ace of wands in her hand there. So part of, part of what happens is we learn that, when we're in fear, the wall is up. When we're sitting in unconditional love and joy and gratitude, the wall comes down, right? With energy. And it's like it contracts and opens and contracts and opens, it's like our energetic pulse that we put out with our spiritual energy. And because what runs our spiritual gifts and our psychic abilities and everything is higher vibration. So when we are in lower vibration, it's like we flip off the switch and and it's not there. It's like we have to boot it up by focusing on higher vibration, right? Um, so we definitely have such a capacity for all that, and the growth is that you definitely, to answer the question, was, yeah, you do, you are, because you're in fear less, you're in unconditional love and connecting to your energy more, and that's what happens. And the more we focus on our gifts, and then we're spending more time in it, we also grow it as well. And so it's kind of a win-win. It's active more, but then it also grows because we're feeding it and we're giving more energy. So I like that awareness. Let's see with these other cards. That was the bottom of the deck. Yeah. Okay. So High Priestess, which is all about the psychic energy and gifts, and the Knight of Wands, which is fast movement and fast energy that comes in. And I feel like you also, the combination of this is it's funny because the Knight of Wands says intuition, flow, fire. And of course, the High Priestess is all about um, the spirit world and your inner voice and connecting to it. But what they were going to say is that you're it's like you needed to be like, it took it longer for you to connect to it, because like it took effort to kind of connect to spirit, but now it's becoming easier and easier, and you're getting to the point where you can just activate it. And that's where you're getting to, where it's just becoming easier and easier and easier, where you don't need to do a whole bunch of, um I have to do all this stuff to be able to connect. You're just like, it's becoming, it's, you're able to activate it faster and faster and faster. And that will just continue to happen too. So if you think about how often you used to channel, when you used to feel spirit, how you used to feel things, it was great, great amount of time in between them, right? And then it started happening more and more often, more often, more often, more often, and it's been speeding up, right? It's even the frequency of it, how often it's happening, has increased, right? And you've been able to stay connected longer too. So um, yeah, well, if you reflect on it and look at it, you'll look back and you'll go, yeah, it is, right? And yeah, and you do have this. Here's the death and the rebirth. You've been going through this transformation, and the Two of Wands is you becoming aware of the difference between the energies. And so you're um you know it's like you're realizing, we always start off being more in lower vibrational energy because haven't connected to our higher self. The more we wake up and start connecting more to our higher self, we realize, oh, there is two different energies. We're all used to the lower vibration. We think that's all there is. But when we wake up to the duality of who we are, we're like, oh, I'm also a powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. In addition to this human character, the actor behind the character, like I have two choices. And then we start choosing this more often because it's new. And then we start, instead of it being 99% lower vibration, 1% higher, it starts being, 2 and 98 and 3 and 97. It starts where we start balancing that out and we are able to step into our energy more and more and more. And it's just practice. It's like working out. The more we work out, the stronger it gets and it becomes, right? Yeah. And here is the movement of emotion with the Knight of Cups. That's that pursuit again, the questing for that. But you have the creator coming in here. This is a unique card. Look at there's your kitty, the creator, which is the power of no. I do want to read that. This deck has a yes and a no card that brings in some great things. And so this was the creator card signifies that there is a powerful energy brewing in the atmosphere around you. It may feel overwhelming and tinged with undertones of darkness. And indeed, you may feel the urge to run and find shelter from this storm, but trust that you are ready to transmute this force into something that will propel you forward on your path. This card is also here to remind you of the power of the word no. No to the things that overwhelm or undermine. No to people who drain your life force. No to thoughts that drag you into despair. You're mightier than you think, and a glimmer of faith paired with solid intention can give you the power to harness lightning. Each day you have the choice to be the victim of fear and circumstances or the creator of new consciousness. Choose wisely. And then you've got a quote from Bethany Webster that says, your no is a sword that cuts away the non essential so that you can live the fullest life. Boom. That just kind of sums it all up, doesn't it? So there you go. Many, many blessings. Boom shakalaka. All right. Let's put these back here. So those are perfect. I know. Make sure you timestamp that one. Keep coming back to that one for sure. All right. And then I see you made another donation. So we'll jump down to that one here. Let's see, I'm going to be on for about 20 more minutes. Let's see. We have a few more to go here. So if I don't get to all the donations, I will come back, of course, and you guys will be prioritized, and I still dive deeper into those too. All right. So HTTPS, thank you for your patience in getting to yours. Thank you for your donation. Let's give that a love and a like, little brother, and whatever comes out. All right. Let's take a look here and see what we have going on here. You have the power to harness lightning, supernova. That's that energy. It's like, yeah. And that's the saying no to the lower vibration and yes to the higher vibration, right? That just comes in there. Finally. I'm sure if you were listening, you probably gleaned stuff from their questions too, right? All right. So what does spirit, whatever comes out, right? All right. So let's take a look here. What does spirit want you to know right now? What you get? Temperance, Knight of Pentacles, all the patience cards will come out now. We took forever to get to your reading to teach you patience. All right. So you have the Queen of Swords on the bottom, which is balance between the head and the heart. And the Ace of Swords that she carries here is important because there is this seeing things with clarity, I feel is a big important thing coming in here. I feel like there's just a lot of, it's not like there's drama. This is just like a lot of different, it's like a mental storm. And this Ace of Swords is like being a lightning rod for you, where you're able to really, it's like Hercules, but instead of a hammer you have a sword that draws in knowledge from and this wisdom from up above that allows you to, and it's whatever, if there's some darkness, it's like this lightning bolt that comes and hits the sword, that it actually is like this it helps and lighten things up, and you're able to see, oh, you know how like when you see a big lightning storm, like it almost seems like the sun's out sometimes. It's like and you're just like, oh, I can see things. It helps bring clarity like that, I feel. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, because I feel like there's emotional stability going on with the Four of Cups, but the Seven of Swords that comes in. Swords are thoughts and beliefs and mindsets, the swords. So it's bringing clarity around like beliefs about what brings emotional stability. It's funny that comes out that way, but it's like in order for me to feel this way, this is what has to happen. It's like your mind is trying to control your heart. This is the balance of the heart and mind. So it makes sense. I love it. They're like, in order for me to have joy, this is what has to happen. And the heart goes, whatever, I'll be happy if I want to be whatever. You don't control me. So your heart is like having a little rebellion going, I don't like the mind telling me, you know, whether I can be happy or not. I'm going to be happy for no reason at all, and no one can take it away. And then your heart is going like, "Meh," to your sticking out his tongue to to your brain, which is funny. All right, Supernova. We'll get to your other ones. Sleep tight and dream well. Much love to you. So I like that because you have the Ten of Cups coming in here too, HTTPS, and we've got this this 10 of cups is like joy. Joy is our natural state. Happiness is like it's like an emotional choice. Joy is our natural state. It's what we're made out of, like we're made of unconditional love. But happiness is a choice, and we're taught a lot of stuff. You can be happy when boom, blah, 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 and that's the mind telling the heart. Happiness comes when we meet these things, and the heart's like, but I don't want to do all that. I just want to be happy for no reason. So I do feel like this is an energy of your heart is having a rebellion come in here. Yeah. Let me see here. I just need to make it a little more decent here. Here, I'll do it this way. And you got the World card and the Two of Swords. Again, Two of Swords is closing our eyes and opening our heart. And the World card is about ending of old cycles, doing things differently. It's the ending of the reign of the brain. I like that. And the heart is overthrowing and at least trying to have it be, you know, have a seat at the table where, here, let's have a peace treaty between the brain and the heart, right? Like, I won't try to overthrow, but I want a seat at the table. Let's rule this kingdom together, right? So I like that. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah. Because you have the star card coming in here. And the star card is about balance as well. It's one of the energies that comes in with it because usually they'll have like seven other stars which represent the chakras. And so there's this balancing because the heart in the middle is it. We have the three chakras of the higher and the three chakras of the lower. The heart is where it all meets. And it's an important piece of this coming in here for you that it's important to look at, if you're into chakra systems and that energy, to look at where you feel you might have out of balance in your chakras. But come to the heart, that heart energy, that love energy of the heart chakra, the pinks of the high heart and the greens of the jade green of the human portion, those can intermingle and I feel like you'll get a lot of information that comes in with all this. You also have the tower coming in, which is the removal of things out of your life on purpose for a purpose to make space for that which is in alignment with your higher heart and the purpose here. So I do feel like your spirit is just preparing you. I feel like it's been happening and your heart has been speaking up more and more and more and more. And now the time has come where your heart is having a coup and going against the ruling of the brain and going, all right, um, we won't try to rule strictly from us, but we are going to rule together. I'm not going to not allow it anymore. And this tower, as things are being moved out of the way, so to make space for the heart's reign in your life. And it's beautiful energy. It's heightened, and I just feel like it is this stepping out of our head. So much about balance between the head and the heart is coming in here for you. So I like that for you. It's very revealing, and I just feel like it's going to be. It is the world card, right? An ending of a significant cycle of things and a beginning of a new adventure that just feels like the world goes from how like they have different movies where it starts off like The Wizard of Oz is one of the original ones that had black and white, and then it would go into technicolor. And this is like it's going from black and white of the mind in a world of gray into this beautiful color is what's gonna because your heart's gonna color your life in a very different way. And it's beautiful for you though. So it's all good. It's nothing scary. It's gonna be like, wow, this is gonna be you'll be in awe, I feel, of your life as it's unfolding. And you're just like, wow, look at there's I've never seen that red before. Look at there's blue, and it just life is gonna seem so much more distinct, if that makes sense. So that's what they have for you, HGTBS. I like it for you. Well worth the wait. Just kidding. All right. Many blessings to you, little brother, and thank you again for your donation. All right. And then Brenda, thank you for your dual donations for the unicorn horse and the rainbow. And I did thought I saw your questions further down here. So here we go. Here we are. First question. So in love for today in general with guys and the such, please. All right. Let's take a look here. All right. So, general love for today. All right. So, with the boys, the boys. Right? You're like, when am I going to find a man? All right. So, bottom of the deck, you have the Six of Swords, which is about, movement of, leaving some old ways of thinking behind, and there's this movement and progression. Feel like this love journey, it's like the love boat. It's moving from choppy waters to calmer waters. So I feel like there's some nice progression coming in. You have all these queens and the mother star. So you got all this divine feminine energy that's coming in here. And I like this, all this emotion that's flowing here. Um, and I just feel like there's this message. Don't, feel like you have to um diminish or dim your emotional light. Like, if people have said, oh, you're so emotional, it's like, you know what? I am, and it's a blessing and it's a gift. So shut the hell up. Like your guides are very sassy. So they're like, embrace that and say, it is a gift. And it takes bravery for me to show my emotions. So, you know, I'm not calling you a scaredy cat for not sharing yours, but I am willing to share my emotions. So, all right, let's see what else we have here. You got the Four of Wands, which there's some energetic stability here. And I feel because the Four of Wands is the marriage card. Let's see what comes in here. Yeah, you've got the Six of Cups and the marriage card. And so I feel like, they're telling you here because it feels like there's like this who do I choose? Who am I meant to be with? When will I know? How will I know? Which one? Who is it? Da, da. And the Six of Cups is past life connections and past life energy, which it means like it'll be so obvious you're not going to wonder if it's that person or not. It's not going to be a wish or a hope. It's going to be like a whoa, because I usually joke about, we've got the the uh, you meet somebody and they're glowing in the dark and they have a rainbow shooting out of their butt, and you're like, I think that's them. It's going to be that obvious when you meet them. And I feel like it's important for you to know that, because you're going to have like this, wow, this comfort, this trust, because it's someone that you've had relationships with in past lives, many, where it's just like, hey, it's you kind of feeling, that is there. So I love that. And I feel like that's important, because they will treat you like a queen, the queen of cups, the queen of swords, the mother star that you all have here. I mean, it's just like they honor that side of you, and you will have no doubt that it's them. So I like that for you. Let's see what these other ones are here. Yeah. And I feel like this is what is being clarified. You have the Nine of Cups, which is the emotional dreams come true. And the Justice card, with her Ace of Swords and the scales, there is this working out of what a dream come true really is. And, you're looking for this um, amazing individual that is going to like be like this my wishes come true individual. Like, obviously, right? You're like, I haven't found them. I feel like I do, and then I'm like, well, no, but I feel like they're telling you here that as you cut away some of these things that are not important to you, that you feel are other people would be important for them, you know, about what a dream come true is, that there's this energy that comes in where you're able to, who it is. It's just like there's not going to be any doubt, and this individual is going to hit all the stuff that's really important to your heart, not the stuff that's important to your mind, because that's all the influence of everyone else. But I just feel like you're going to know who this is. Yeah. Yeah. So we've got the Chariot card. And the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is about being true to your authentic self, not needing to defend yourself, not needing to dim your light, not asking permission. It's someone that's going to appreciate you and see you and go like, wow, they're just like, and you will have this knowledge and this knowing. And the Chariot card is like, there's no wrong choice, um, in your life either. You don't have to be ruled by the actions or non-actions or words or silence of someone, because that empowerment that comes in, that you every moment get to choose the story you're putting to something, the emotion you're feeling, the energy you're putting out, your physical actions. And it's letting go of everyone else's and trying to control anyone else's actions or words or whatever, and realizing I control it. And what happens with that is we stop fearing the future, we stop needing to control the outside world, because when we're taught that when that happens, this is what it means. When that happens, this is how I have to feel. When that happens, this is what I'm supposed to do with my energy and my actions. We do feel like a puppet on strings, right? And that's why we fear the future. We go, what happens next is going to determine what next movement I do, and we're concerned with that. We have fear of that. Um, but when we realize I am in control, it doesn't matter what comes, I get to decide what something means, then we step into our power. So I feel like that's an important thing with all of this that's coming in. But I do feel like with this past life connection of this individual, that you're just going to see someone and meet someone and interact with someone, and you're just like, I feel like I've known you forever, and I feel so comfortable and safe with you. And it's like you've a long lost love from past lifetimes. It's no one in this lifetime yet. It doesn't feel like, it's just like it's someone that you meet and you're just like, there you are. Where have you been? That's funny. All right. But that's what's coming in for you right now, Brenda. So thank you for the donation there. I think it's someone new. I know. I mean, you would know. I mean, have rainbows shot out of his butt? You're like, oh, okay, Yeah, this is for today. I mean, this is not that you'll meet them today, but I feel like this is what they wanted you to know today in general around it all, is like, I don't know who I'm picking. I feel like I'm picking people and they're not it, but I feel like it's gonna be a no-brainer that comes in with all that, and you're just like, okay, I see. I see. This is the one. There they are. They're glowing in the dark, and there's a rainbow shooting out of their butt or whatever. But it's going to be so obvious that you're not going to wonder if it's them. It's like you're like, holy crap, there they are. It's going to be that kind of knowingness that comes in, which we like, right? You're afraid to be pregnant. I don't know, that Empress and all that there, I feel like there is some there, but, you know, nothing happens by accident. If there's a baby, but that doesn't mean you're gonna end up with Eric, for the rest of your life. It just means that, you have an agreement with your little kids. All of your children chose you to be their mother on purpose for a purpose, as well as, you chose them, before coming down here. So, they're you know, it's all on purpose. So there's no mistakes, so just know that. All right. And Brenda, I will need to come back for your second question here because I'm running out of time here and I need to take screenshots. So I will come back to complete all readings as per usual. And so for all the donations I didn't get to, uh, so much gratitude for you. And I will definitely come back and you'll be prioritized when I come back. And of course, I do dive deeper into donations as well. So we'll dive deep into those. And I think I lost my place. Hold on. Let me I don't need these. Just move this up. All right. Let me see. Where did I leave off? Smooth life. All right. So let me. Okay, there it is. All right. So I'm just focusing. I don't want to miss anyone here by not grabbing the proper screenshot. So thank you guys for your patience. And in the meantime, while you're waiting, like I said, I'll be back in about an hour and a half or so. I'm going to spend about an hour with my Praying Mantis members. Then I'm going to eat. And then I will return and complete all donations and free readings. And I do, when I come back on for the second stream to complete everything, I do put since there's no chat, I put a pinned comment on the bottom that lists the order in which all the readings are completed, so that we have all that. So I will return with all of those. Brenda, you did ask that last night, and so I do, or yesterday, I did answer those. So if you want to check out that, because you asked that, I think it was in when I came back. Yeah, it was the free one. I think. Let me just make sure, just real quick here. I thought no, that's not it here. Here it is. All right. I think it was in the morning session. You had asked it, and then so when I came back in the afternoon, I believe so. If you check let me just do something really quick here. Then I need to jet over there. I thought, just jump in here. Content, here we go. And it was the lives, and we have, where was it? Would have been the morning. I think it's this one here. Yeah, this would be this one. And then let me see here. Let me just jump into the comments here. Sorry, everybody. I'm just doing that here. Let's see. Oh my gosh, yeah, there was a lot. Let's see. I thought. Or was it the night before? It could have been. Because you asked that before. But I will when I come back on, I will do that because I thought with the Empress and everything, it was like they gave like a big positive yes that I feel like you were. But and then lucky I'm grabbing your question here too. So I'll make sure to do that one too. All right. So when I come back later, Brenda, I will also look and find. I think I'll if I remember, I'll go try to find that and let you know where it's at because it was the cards they gave because I think they even gave me a oh yeah because they gave me an oracle that mentioned a fire in your belly if I remember. So I think there's something in there. Little fire in the belly going on. All right. But I need to jet everybody. So thank you again so much for all your love and all your support. I have a ton of free content, solstice readings, cancer sign readings for the cancer season, July's readings. All of those are on my main page. So if you want to check those out while you're waiting for your other readings, there's a lot of great resources out there. So all free. You just go to my main page. Right. So everybody remember every second of every day, you truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the mother and the father of all things, our creator. Of course, I love you too. So until I see you, enjoy the rest of your day or night. And much love to you. Hang in there. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you soon.